Welcome to the Process Podcast.
From new agent to broker owner.
My name is Travis McClure. This is my co-host, Preston Guyton. Welcome to the Process Podcast. This is Travis McClure and my co-host, as always, Preston Guyton. Preston, how you doing, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Man, I was saying yesterday, I felt like I haven't seen you in like 3 weeks. You've been a traveling man past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I went to Toronto and froze to death almost. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It was only 25 below zero. And then last week I was chaperoning a group of seventh graders in Florida.
Yeah, you guys, was that, down in Tampa, Florida?
Yeah.
What was the weather like in Tampa last week?
It was like the day we were at Busch Gardens was hot. It was like 82, 85.
Oh, nice.
The day before I'd never swam with manatees before. It's pretty interesting. It's cold.
So
the water was like 65 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is cold. That is cold. That's like that awkward temperature. I would say like 50 and 60 degrees are like my two least favorite temperatures because like you don't want to dress too warm, but it's too cold to be in a t-shirt.
We had a wetsuit on, but my wetsuit looked like an animal chewed the collar off. So
yeah,
every time I went underwater, it went down my stomach.
Huh. That would make me a little nervous if I put on a wetsuit that looked like an animal chewed it prior to swimming with animals.
I think it was just really old.
Okay.
It was like rotted.
Huh. So
it was fun.
Tell me about Toronto. So you were up in Toronto. You were a speaker there. We talked about that the last time. What were some of your takeaways from that mastermind session? Mostly broker owners in the room, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Team leaders.
Yeah, team leaders, broker owners, or people that want to grow a team. So small teams, obviously they're there for recruiting and to learn about what's going on.
So small teams to big companies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was, it's pretty interesting. The two main things that I think were shared in the room often were getting back to basics, right? So we say getting back to basics, but it's like, doing the things you should be doing, like making phone calls.
Yeah.
So it's like getting back to basics and, having open houses and things like that where you couldn't have before because there was no point in having an open house. As soon as you put a sign in the yard, it was sold. So doing things like that. And then the other thing is just recruiting. We always talk about, and that was a big point in the room. A lot of what was shared, a lot of what people did with the recruiting and how they did it, creating content and all that. So it was really those two things were the biggest, standouts for me is getting back to basics and, dealing with the change in market.
It's interesting you say that because I look at it, I'm going to then say like from the agent perspective, we obviously had a couple sales meetings while you were gone. We do one every single Wednesday. We do some masterminding in those sales meetings. And it was really the same thing, right? In a mastermind, you basically ask two questions, right? What's going well? What challenges you having? And the agents that are doing well, they're doing the basics really well. They're consistently sending their mailers or they, in a strategic way where they have a plan. And they're having success with mailers, right? People are calling them. Open houses, the traffic is still pretty decent, right? And they're making good contacts that way. And of course, just making calls. And the other thing, I think where all the money is, and we talked about it in our last podcast, I think with agents, it's in follow-up.
Oh, yeah.
Agents are doing the best job because not everybody, it's not a year ago, 2 years ago, where everybody's ready to do something right now. It's your ability to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll call you back in May. Yeah. And you actually do. Those are the agents doing well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the ones that started it, we see it on the company side as well. Like we really put forth an initiative to start recruiting. We hired the position as a full-time recruiter back in beginning of June. And, we continue to brought people on. We're really starting to see that really pay off now with it. Because a lot of the agents we brought on were newer. They went through the Agent Excellence program. They're now starting to have sales. And this month is on pace to be our biggest month ever. Yeah. And when you look at the board, and I shared this in Toronto, I looked at the numbers January of last year. We had 7 agents. We had like 55 contracts roughly, maybe a little bit more, but we had 6 or 7 agents were responsible for 41 contracts of that total number.
Yeah.
Those 7 agents this January had about 11 contracts.
Wow.
So it just shows you like, the one thing I talked to Josh and Nick about, and we all talked about, was the need for recruiting because we saw it turning. And I was like, if we want to continue doing the numbers we're doing, we have to have double the amount of agents.
You-
And I mean, really, we ended up with 23 million in contracts last month. And then January of last year, we did about 17 million.
Right. We're in a different market.
Yeah. But, we're also more than double the agents.
Right.
So it just shows you, like, if we didn't focus on recruiting, and
Yeah.
we would have been in a bad spot,
Right.
like many people are, or see themselves in a bad spot right now because they didn't focus on those things.
And I think the other piece of that too is there really is a compound effect in recruiting. I call it recruiting with purpose. And I think as a company, you have to do that. And we talk about our agent excellence class, right? Which is geared towards newer to new agents in the industry. We know we have one of those classes coming up. That's what we recruit to, right?
Yep.
Those are the agents we're calling to fill that class. And like you said, out of the gate, those agents aren't doing a bunch of business with intention, but you do 4 of those classes in a year or 5 of those classes in a year. Now you start to look back, there's a compound effect of consistently adding those agents and grooming them and teaching them your systems. And then when you're not trying to fill that class, you're calling groups of agents that make more sense, the full-time agents, the agents that could do a little more volume if they were in the right system, right? That's recruiting with purpose, not just buckshot, making calls or hoping somebody calls you.
Yeah. And, with the agent excellence program too, we're starting to see that on the pending sheets now. Like we're seeing, because it's tagged agent excellence, while they are in that when, the commission is split different. But we're starting to see like 10 of those a month, 10 of those are going pending. So they're agents that went through agent excellence class that are, putting contracts on the board, and it's starting to get to be pretty significant.
I think for a company like ours too, which has helped us from a prospecting standpoint within our database, like we put a lot of emphasis on lead generation. We have a very big database. Those agents that are new to your company and those agents that are especially new to the industry that are hungry, they're going to make the most calls in your database, right? So it's going to generate a lot of business in that database that you have. Because let's face it, a lot of agents that have business, a book of business of their own, past clients, things like that, they're not that they don't, but they're not as motivated to call in that, or maybe they don't have the time or whatever to call in that database like a new agent or a newer to your company agent will.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers in Follow Up Boss this morning, and company wide, obviously the ISAs are always 1 and 2 on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
But number 3 wasn't very far behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It was a newer agent, and I was looking at his conversations. He's had 22 hours of conversations so far this year.
That's amazing. It's a full day.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's, had like, if you look at Follow Up Boss, I think he had like 39,000 points.
Yeah.
Which is significant, but newer agent, putting in the work, making the calls, and, it'll pay off. I mean, we, right now, which is crazy. We're on, what is it, 15th? Yeah. 15th. I think we're at like 19 million pending so far this month.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's bonk. I mean, the market has picked up. The market has picked up since, I would say, probably middle of December. We've really seen kind of an uptick. But to be that, we're almost 20 million, and we have 13 days left is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's been very encouraging. Like I said a few times, I've been working closely with our ISA team over the last couple of months. In January, there was a lot of connections where people are picking up the phone, having good conversations, and people who are sitting on the fence are now starting to want to get off the fence and do something.
Yeah. And that's, we've never had a $30 million a month contract month. So this could be the first one.
We are on pace.
Yeah.
So talk about what's next. You've been traveling, so hopefully you're going to be here for a few weeks. I know next week, we have the Connection Summit.
Yeah.
Right here in Myrtle Beach. I talked to John earlier this week. He was booking his flight.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. What are your expectations around that?
Oh man, it keeps it keeps growing. Like we just added a roundtable, which I'm excited about. I actually kicked myself off the conversion panel to add Grant Wise in there. So
yeah,
he's going to be there. And then we have the roundtable we just added, which is the Dan Corkle is going to be there, Justin Benson, and then one of the founders of Rooster is going to be on there as well.
What is Rooster?
Rooster is I guess like lead gen follow-up.
Cool.
I'm be honest with you, I don't know much about it. So I haven't tried to answer that, but it's so that I was connected with them through we posted something in Follow Up Boss group, and they reached out and said, "Hey, are there any sponsorship opportunities?" And so we created that roundtable, which would be really cool. I'm going to probably sit on that with them, and we're just going to talk about, lead gen and conversion, and just, talking with, which Dan, we had him on one of our podcasts early on.
Yep.
It should be a lot of fun, to be sitting up there with them and just kind of talking about, Follow Boss is obviously an industry leader in the CRM space. So they know a lot what's going on with everything. So it'll be good. And, everybody else we have that's coming in is, just really good leaders and from all backgrounds. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
So when is the roundtable?
What time?
Yeah. Where does that fit into the whole?
It's
agenda?
so it's right before the end of the day. I think it's at like 4:00. It's
okay.
I want to say it's right before John closes it out.
Okay.
So the conversion panel is, I'm going to say 2:00, and then we have, I think, Sanit's after that, and then we have the roundtable after that.
Who's on the conversion panel? I know I'm emceeing or hosting it or facilitating it.
No, you're actually on the panel.
Oh, I thought I was the facilitator of the conversion panel.
So I changed it all up and didn't even tell you.
Yeah.
So double Travis is on there.
Okay.
Travis and Travis.
T2.
Yeah. And then Grant's on there, and then Justin Nelson.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be sitting between Justin Nelson and Grant Wise.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll be taking notes, not.
Well, they don't. They're not
smart. Man.
Well, yeah, but they're not making ISA call. You know what I mean? They're a whole different. So it's a good mix.
It is a good mix.
And then Lee Adkins is actually. I reached out to him. He's coming in from Atlanta. He's gonna be the host for it. So he
okay.
He was actually when we were at FubCon, he was actually the one that ran our panel that I was in.
Gotcha. Yeah, some firepower.
So he's I think his company's Amplified Solutions.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of work within Follow Up Boss with clients and everything else. But yeah, it'll be it's going to be cool. Like luckily I brought Sarah from Stunning and Brilliance helping coordinate everything.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it would have been a disaster if I tried to do this myself with Emily. Emily would probably quit by now. But it's that's helped out a ton. And they've come on, and she actually sent me the guy that's doing the AV. One of the guys that works with him actually used to work on Tony Robbins' sets. So,
oh wow!
So we're gonna have some lighting, some intro music. Yeah, but we're going a little bit overboard.
It's the real deal. Talk about the conversion panel. Going back to that. Now you got me nervous. I thought I was hosting it. Now I'm actually on the panel. I'm not nervous. I'm just joking. But so you got Travis. I always mess up Travis's last name. Halverson.
Yeah,
right.
Halverson. He is actually in. He's at Keller Williams Family Reunion, I think is what it is. But he's out there today in California, sitting on a panel at that Keller Williams event, and then he's flying back to he lives here obviously, but he's coming back. He'll be on that panel with you, so it'll be good. You and him obviously you're doing a lot of the same things every day, so it's going to be it'll be really good. It'll be a good conversation.
Yeah, I've personally learned a lot just from being connected with him through you. He's probably one of the smarter minds in ISA management, ISA conversion, and leading that team and teaching and training. And you have Grant Wise. Grant Wise does a lot with social media, right? Social media marketing and conversion through that.
Yeah, so he has a company called Whitley. Whitley helps teams through Facebook marketing, retargeting, video, a lot of video. He's doing other stuff as well, but his company Whitley is really good on in that space for sure.
I know when I was impressed with him, he spoke out in Tahoe, and I feel like, he's out there like, obviously he has a service he wants to sell, but he actually gives you a lot of value content. Just listening to him speak, he gives a lot of it to you for free.
Yeah, he's a really good speaker. He travels a lot and speaks often. So, and it's helped grow his business. Obviously, that's I'm sure that was the purpose of why he did all the things he did, and the amount of money he spent on traveling and everything else. But yeah, he definitely delivers a lot of value.
And then you have Justin Nelson from Sphere Rocket.
Yeah,
right.
And Rocket Leads is his other company.
Yeah, and he's number one, has a great story. I've watched him speak, I think, in Nashville.
Yep.
And then, he does a great job with his company in terms of how he markets it and how he leads it. And obviously now he has a lead generation and conversion company. Just doing a great job across the board. So yeah, I think that brings a lot of diversity in how 4 people operate and convert leads.
Yeah, and I just know that people that do not pay for a ticket or do not show up are going to be very sad, because there's going to be a lot of talk after how good it's going to be, just because with the talent that we're bringing in and what's going to be shared.
Will it be recorded at all?
Yes, it'll be recorded.
Okay. So you got Bill Pipes, obviously a slew of Cheplack coaches, right?
Yep.
Broker owners and team leaders who coach across the country, coming, sharing their stories, sharing what's going well for them, how they lead their team through challenges. I'm excited. I don't know that we've ever had such an impactful event. And obviously, I may be a little skewed in my opinion, but in Myrtle Beach, we've had real estate conferences, things like that. But man,
there's never been one like this.
Yeah.
And it's not because, I'm putting it on, but there really never has been.
Yeah.
Just the talent we're bringing in with John coming in, and the teams that are coming in, and the broker owners that are coming in that used to be agents that grew massive teams and massive brokerages. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get an update on running. Myrtle Beach Marathon is almost 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
A little over 2 weeks away. How you feeling? Are you still doing the half marathon?
I am going to try. I hurt my neck about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it didn't, I ran 4.5 miles this morning and it didn't bother me, but in that 2 weeks, I didn't run very often. It's just not the right time to be not running very often right before a half. So we'll see. It's going to be day by day. I mean, I plan on it, but I'm definitely not saying 100%.
Yeah. You can always downgrade. There's like a 5K. You can always downgrade that.
Freaking run the 5K.
Fun run. You and all the kids.
No, not doing that shit. I really want to do it. I probably will, even if I don't run the whole, like the first one in October was the first one I ever ran. I ran the whole time. Ran right over 2 hours, and I wanted to run under 2 hours this time. And I haven't been able to, the last 2 weeks I just haven't been able to run as much as I wanted to. So I'll probably do it. I'll just, I won't run as fast as I did.
Well, my advice would be take this last weekend a little close, because I'm already starting to like scale down my runs. I'm doing the full that day, but I would try and get in one long-ish run, maybe a 10-miler this weekend if I were you. See how you feel and kind of judge it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I did before I hurt my neck, I did 8 miles, the long run on Sunday. And I think I did that at like 9:45 pace, 9:30 pace, which was good. And then I hurt my neck. So I felt really good at the end of January. And then just like, I don't know if I think I might have hurt it lifting. I don't know if I was doing squats or trying to lift too heavy weight as an old man. Was probably not a good idea.
It's maybe not bad. You might come out this weekend, try a longer run, have some fresh legs, and feeling good. Sometimes that happens.
I mean, today I ran 4.5 and I felt really good. I ran out my door. I'm like, man, everything feels good. So I ordered these actually, and obviously, I don't know if they're good or not, but I ordered these like these pants. They're not pants. They're like tights. I don't want to say leggings, because then I think that's a woman thing, right?
Yeah,
leggings. So they're not leggings. They're actually tights. I don't know if tights is the right word. I look like Robin Hood.
Like thermal underwear.
Whatever they are. But they have these little metal rods that go down. They're like strings, right? Really? And you could tighten them up on the back, and it helps like stabilize your knees.
Interesting.
So I'm going to try running with those, but I might be Bionic Man and actually run really, really fast. So it's going to be interesting. They were shipped, so I should have them tomorrow. So they're bright blue. I don't want to stand out or anything.
Random question that probably none of our audience cares about, but I do. What shoes are you wearing for the run? Do you have a specific shoe? I'm very particular about my running shoe for races.
Yeah, so I have those. Is it Saucony?
I say Saucony. I don't know if that's right. But...
Yeah. Anyway, I have the Speed, and I have the other ones are
Endorphin Speed.
Yeah. And then I have another pair which are not the Endorphins, or they made their Endorphins, but they're in between the Speed and the like really cushioned ones. So they're like
there's the Pro is the next one up. There's a Pro and then Elite.
I don't know. It's one of those, but the last 3 shoes I've bought or I have, the speed or what I ran.
That's a good shoe.
Yeah, the marathon width.
Yeah.
Very, very light. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't weigh anything. So I'm not. Well, the first shoe I got was the Brooks. I'm not one. Those feel like socks.
Brooks aren't bad to me. They're again, we're talking stuff our audience definitely does not care about, but they're a little stiff to me. The
Well,
Brooks.
the ones that I have are the Ghost.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's like their upper level shoe.
Yeah, and it's very like cushiony. I don't know. It's too cushiony for me. Once because it was different when I ran with the speeds. They were, I guess, that carbon.
Yeah, so the Endorphin Pro have like a carbon fiber thing in them. Yeah. And they call it a speed roll, but it's just basically it's just an extra little. It makes the styrofoam a little squishy as you land.
Yeah. So it's I'm gonna run with one of those. I don't know which one yet.
I'm going Endorphin.
I still have a $150 gift card I haven't used. Maybe I get some new shoes.
Today's the day. Well, I'll give you some inside info. So they just come out with the Speed Endorphin 3 Saucony. Ooh. So all the Speed Endorphin 2 stuff, the Pro and the Endorphin Pro and Endorphin Speed, it's all on sale. At most stores like Fleet Feet. I got mine.
When did the 3s come out?
Recently. So all you can get, if you can find the 2s in your size, they're like half price.
I think I have the 3s. Did the 3s come out in the fall?
I don't think so. I think they were still selling the Endorphin 2s.
Because I ordered mine online because they didn't have them in the store.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not sure what I'm going to run with yet.
Oh.
I think I'm going to run. Well, I'll do it this weekend. I'll do a long run, see how it feels. Then I'll do another long run next week and just totally not follow what I should be doing.
No, I wouldn't do that. 1 week out, you need to I would probably at the longest I would do. My advice would be 6 to 8 miles the weekend before.
Yeah.
This weekend is pivotal. I think you need to get a 10 miler in.
Well, I'm going to put miles in because I told you I'm doing a 5K a day for, I don't know, I'm going to try to make that like a forever thing.
Yeah. You said you were going to involve your family in that as well, right?
Yeah. So I know my wife will do it with me, and when the time changes with the kids, there'll be more time in the day. I'm going to get them on it. I just need to get them off the couch.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they're busy. They play basketball, golf. My daughter sings and does theater, and Noah plays basketball, soccer, and all that. But it's just, time away from electronic, and not like 5K a day, meaning look at your steps at the end of the day. I mean, 5K, leave the house and you come back when it's at least a 5K.
Yeah. And that's a challenge. I mean, I have that challenge with kids as well, but I'm very physically active. I work out 6-7 days a week, which is, I know abnormal. Most people don't do that and shouldn't do that, but
why couldn't they?
Well, sometimes I get a little extreme. I just enjoy fitness. I enjoy running. I enjoy running.
And I think there's that whole saying of, kids, you want kids to do what you do. That,
right.
They will follow in your footsteps based on your activities. But I don't think that's always the case.
Yeah.
I see it a lot where some parents are very, that they do all these physical things and their kids never do. So,
right.
I want to involve them, and it doesn't have to be running.
That's the challenge, is getting them to actually do it also.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to drag their ass out of the house.
Yeah. And most of the time they want to, though. That's the thing. Anytime, I was like, hey, let's go for a family walk, or, ask my stepson if he wants to go shoot hoops or play basketball. Most of the time they want to.
Yeah.
You just have to ask them.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
sometimes they don't want to walk.
Yeah.
But, if you shut every electronic off and hide the Rokus, there's nothing else that can do.
Yeah, I think that's the key. You gotta limit electronic time.
And we do, we have screen time settings on their phone. They have to ask for time for pretty much anything they do on their phone. And my youngest obviously doesn't have a phone, but my 12 and 13-year-old do. So, but my daughter's getting to the age where, she's actually working out on her own now, which is pretty cool. She's 13.
Yeah, right.
And she, goes in our gym, and she has a little scrap paper with videos she watched on YouTube and just workouts she does. So she's taken that upon herself.
Well, that's where kids watch you and pick up your habits, right? Because they see you and Christy do that on a daily basis, and kids then, hey, that's what I should be doing.
Yeah, and then my son Carson, he's 12. I'm gonna get him. He'll do it. He doesn't like running. He's actually his feet he's got really, really flat feet, and one of his. So anyway, he tends to get foot injuries.
Yeah,
he has orthotics in his shoes, but it doesn't have to be a the thing is, it doesn't have to be a 5K run, right? It could be just 5K walk. I mean, whatever.
Rucking's great for you.
Well,
We
I'm
talked
gonna,
about
yeah,
it before, yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If I'm not running, if they're not willing to run, I'm gonna just throw on the 30-pound ruck.
Yeah, it's great for you. All right, guys. Well, nice weather is around the corner.
Oh
Yeah.
man, 60. And I look next week. Let me see what it is.
Well, high of 70 here in Myrtle Beach today. I didn't look at weather next week.
Yeah.
I just hope the Myrtle Beach Marathon March 4th. I just don't want it to be cold and rainy. I'm so sick of running in cold rain. I feel like that's all I've ran in this winter.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
I struggle running in the morning in this weather.
I don't own a treadmill, but I'm pretty certain after this winter, so much running in the cold rain, I'm investing.
Next week, 71 on Wednesday. Obviously, it could change. 71 and sunny on Wednesday, or mostly cloudy, whatever. 65 on Thursday and 67 on Friday.
So for people coming to Myrtle Beach for an event, that's a perfect.
Yeah, I mean, what's great about it is when you look at the low, when I see that weather and the low's only 55.
That's perfect. Morning run.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take that every morning if I could.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your week. Have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.
See ya.